YouTube, how you doing? Murph here, bringing you another product review. Today's review is going to be on the brand new GMMK2 just released by Glorious. And we're going to talk about the specifications and the software and all of that, but as usual, we are going to start off by talking about the design and the build quality. Now, as far as the design is concerned, this keyboard is offered in two different sizes. The size we have here is their compact 65% form factor, and it's also available in a full-sized 96% keyboard, which is essentially a full-sized keyboard that's a little bit smushed together to make it a little bit smaller, a little bit more compact. I think there is going to be a market for that one, but I envision most people probably picking up this 65% version. It's available in three different colors: black, white, and a pink color, and it is a traditional 65% layout. One of the cool things about the design of this keyboard is you can buy it just like this, or you can actually buy it in a bare bones kit on their website for $80. So you're gonna save about 40 bucks, and it's gonna come with pretty much everything you need except for keycaps and switches. And you can either acquire those on your own, select your own keycaps and switches, or you can actually go through a customization menu on their website and you can select from a variety of their keycaps. And they also have a variety of not only their own proprietary switches, but I believe they have some Gatoron and Kale switch options through their website as well. So you can kind of get everything you need off of the website, or you can find all that stuff on your own, which I would imagine if you're buying a bare bones kit is probably what you're gonna do in the first place. But they do have that option should you choose to do that. Continuing on with the design, again, a basic 65% form factor. You are getting double shot ABS keycaps. The actual case of this keyboard is plastic, but it does have an aluminum top frame, and you can kind of see it from the side angle. This whole bottom section is plastic and the top is aluminum. That's gonna provide some extra durability as well as add a little bit of extra weight to the keyboard. This is full backlit RGB, and it is fully customizable with the software, which we'll get into a little bit later. And you can see on the sides here, it does have LED diffusers, which do look really good from the side profile. This keyboard also has a pretty wide USB cutout on the back, and it should fit not only all of Glorious's aftermarket cables, but it should fit most other aftermarket cables as well. So I'm glad they went with kind of an enlarged cutout in the back that is USB-C, and it has 4 rubber bump-ons on the back, which is going to prevent it from sliding around on the desktop. And they're very wide, much wider than your traditional rubber bump-ons. So it's going to provide more surface area. And they also, I don't know how well the camera's going to pick it up, but it's got like these circular grips. So it's really going to grip onto the desktop or your desk pad, whatever you're using as a typing surface. So it's not going to slide around on you. A little bit of branding on the back, Glorious kind of etched into the bottom of that plastic case. And it does have flip out feet, which it doesn't have like 2 or 3-way height adjustable feet. It's only pretty much just got these 2 angles, but I think that's going to accommodate most people. I find that on this keyboard, just the flat angle is actually where I would keep it. And then if you do want to add a little bit more of a typing angle, you can do that with those height adjustable feet. This keyboard also comes with a braided USB-C cable, so a little bit higher quality than some of the other USB-C cables that come with keyboards that are on the market right now. And it also looks like it is a gold-plated connector as well. As far as the build quality of the GMMK2 is concerned, it is very good. The plastic portion of the case feels very high quality. It feels like a high density plastic. And of course, we already talked about the aluminum top frame. All of that makes it feel very rigid and solid. There is no bending, flexing, creaking, or any other issues with the build quality. The flip out feet in the back feel very durable as well. There's no kind of wobble or play in them that make me feel like they'll snap or break off with time or anything like that. Now, these are double shot ABS keycaps, and as a lot of you may know, ABS is kind of known for not being quite as durable as PBT, especially when it comes to just kind of fading and developing that shine over time. Although I will say these are a pretty thick ABS keycap, and I don't foresee too many durability issues. You may way down the line have some durability issues with those, but the keycaps that are used here feel very high quality, very solid. The overall weight of the keyboard, not only because of the aluminum top frame, but also, as you'll see with the teardown portion of this video, there's aluminum weights inside as well. The overall weight of the keyboard feels very nice, gives it a really nice premium feel to the keyboard. Now, as far as the teardown portion of this video, I don't typically do teardowns of keyboards on this channel unless there's a good reason. The reason I'm going to do it here is because this is available in a bare bones kit, and because of that I think it's important to note what's on the inside. There are 11 small screws that you need to remove to access the inside of the case. Once you've got those screws removed, the aluminum top plate kind of pops right off. Then just gently remove the cable from the daughter board. Then to completely disassemble the keyboard, there are another 4 small screws to remove. These were covered up by kind of this sticky foam material, but you do have to just remove those foam pieces off of the back of the PCB, and you'll be able to access those screws and get into the rest of the keyboard. You probably don't even need to do that unless you plan on doing something with the stabilizers, removing those, lubing them on your own, which I actually do recommend. There is a small amount of lube pre-applied to these stabilizers, but I found it, in at least in my unit, I can't speak for all of them, but at least in my unit, especially on the space bar, but really with all of them, the lubrication appears to only be on the wire, not on the actual inside of the housings. And I found the application of lube on the wire to be a little inconsistent. So I do recommend, if you want to do anything to this keyboard, you do just kind of touch up those stabilizers a bit. You can also use your own stabs here if you prefer. These are clip-in stabs, but from what I understand, you can actually use screw-on stabs here as well. There are 2 different foam layers in this keyboard, one in the bottom of the case, a very thin foam layer, and there is also a thicker layer of foam between the plate and the PCB. All of that is going to help take up space in the keyboard, reduce vibrations, and enhance the overall acoustics of the keyboard. And one thing I didn't see listed on the website that I actually found interesting during the teardown is the use of a weight system in the bottom of the case. I believe it's aluminum. I think those are aluminum weights. I'm not really sure what it's made out of, but it feels like other aluminum weights that I've seen in the past. But there's a lot going on here that not only provide a weight for the keyboard, but kind of enhance the acoustics as well. All right, now moving on and talking about the specifications. Again, these are ABS double shot keycaps. It does come with Glorious Fox linear switches, and those are pre-lubed. The body, again, is made of machined aluminum for the top frame, and it's got a plastic polymer bottom. As far as dimensions are concerned, it is 313 millimeters long by 105 millimeters wide and 37.5 millimeters in height. The overall weight of the keyboard is 1.9 pounds, and you get 2 typing angles, 7 degrees, which is what I prefer, and then if you need a more aggressive typing angle, it also comes in at about 14 degrees with those feet extended. This is a tray mounted keyboard. It comes with pre-lubed plate mounted stabs, and again, it does support most screw-in stabilizers, and obviously it has a hot swap PCB, and this is a 5-pin hot swap PCB as well, not a 3-pin, so there's not going to be any clipping required if you do have 5-pin switches. Now moving on to the software, once you download their Glorious Core software, this is what you're going to be presented with. Any of their products that you have plugged in are going to show up here. Also, if there is a firmware update, you will be notified when the screen comes up, and you'll have the option of downloading that firmware update. You can click on the keyboard here and you can adjust your key binding and macros. You can adjust all of your lighting, and it's got a performance tab which allows you to reduce the input latency as well as change the polling rate, which I highly recommend you doing for whatever reason. And this isn't just this keyboard, this is even their other keyboards and their gaming mice. It's always set on like the lowest, like 125 or 250 hertz. I definitely recommend coming in here and switching this to 1000 hertz. And if you want to change the input latency, mine was shipped set on 16 milliseconds. I personally would set that to 2, but anything you want to change in here, you can do that. Make sure you save it to the keyboard. You also have the option of choosing between 3 different profiles, and their software is just really easy to use and very intuitive. That's it for the software. The last thing I want to do is just give you a quick sound test for the keyboard. Again, this is with the Glorious Fox switches, which do come pre-lubed. Overall, I think the keyboard sounds really good. I really like the sound of the switches. This is my first time using Glorious Fox switches. I really like how they sound and feel. They're a linear switch, which are going to be really good for gaming, which is their primary target audience here anyways. The overall acoustics are pretty good. I will say that the spacebar seems to be a little hollow, and there also seems to be a little bit of spacebar rattle in there. The other stabs, that backspace sounds a little bit hollow. But overall, their stabs sound pretty good. I would add some more lube to that spacebar if this was gonna be my main keyboard. But overall, I'm pretty happy with the acoustics from the GMMK2. And that pretty much wraps up the video. So would I recommend buying this keyboard? At $120, I think that I would. This is definitely a good option. Of course, there are other keyboards in this price range on the market in a 65% form factor that are all also pretty good as well. A couple that stand out to me are the Ducky 13 SF and the HyperX Alloy Origins 65. This is actually a touch more expensive than both of those, but it does have a lot to offer. The acoustics of the keyboard are pretty good. I do like the overall weight and feel of this keyboard as well. It does have a software option, and it's a pretty good one. And from a technical specification standpoint, it's really got everything you could want in a gaming keyboard, especially if you already have something like a Glorious Model O, Glorious Model D, two very popular gaming mouse options right now, and you're looking for something to pair with that. This is a really good option to pair with something like that. And overall, I've really enjoyed my time with this keyboard. So if you're looking for a compact gaming keyboard, this is definitely one to consider. And with that being said, that wraps up the video. I hope you guys enjoyed the review. If you did, make sure to hit the thumbs up button. If you guys want to see other content like this, make sure to subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications so you can be notified of when I post new content. If you have any questions about this keyboard, make sure to drop them in the comment section down below, and I'll try to get to as many of those as I can. And YouTube, we'll catch you later.